crucial role in security and talent acquisition. Brought to you by the Controllers Council. My name is Neil Brown, Executive Director of the Controllers Council, and before I introduce you to our expert speaker and sponsor, I have some brief housekeeping items. First, we'll have a live Q&A at the end of the presentation, so please use your GoToWebinar control panel to ask questions at any time. We'll get to as many questions as possible in the hour. Second, we'll have a couple of polling questions. Again, please use your GoToWebinar control panel to answer polls and benchmark your peers. And finally, you'll receive a link to this webcast via email in the next 24 hours, so no need for notes or screenshots. So with that, I'd like to introduce you to our sponsor, Yooz, a cloud-based procure-to-pay or P2P automation, infusing intelligence into the accounts payable process. For more information, visit getyooz.com. So with that, allow me to introduce our guest speaker, Casey Dial, Head of Sales, Western Region at Yooz North America, an accomplished sales executive with over 11 years experience. He leads with industry expertise and charismatic nature, which have greatly contributed to his success. Casey studied business management and accounting at the University of North Texas and now resides in Mansfield, Texas, with his wife and 3 kids and 2 large dogs. Casey, welcome.
Thank you, Neil. Nice to be here. And with that introduction, I guess I have to really do well with this whole webcast. So thanks for the pressure.
You bet. Well, let's get over to the agenda.
Absolutely. So first of all, we're going to take a quick look at how we accumulated data for the surveys that we sent out to get this data in place. That way we can really broadcast it in a way that's appetizing. We're going to break that into 3 sections here. So that first section, we're going to notice just shifts in digital transformation to more of a focus in cybersecurity and proper talent management. Secondly, we're going to look and dive into current status of automation within companies and how only a handful have actually been reaping the benefits of full automation, along with what others are doing to just take steps towards those particular goals. And lastly, with the cyber CFO there, we're going to look at what does this new CFO look like? What areas are they investing into? And where are their current objectives focused on, along with the skills that are involved to stay up with times? So a lot of people are asking us, why the surveys? Why are we looking into this? And what we wanted to look at is gain understanding on what's holding the AP departments back and the plans companies have to help them in this post-pandemic world. The technologies that they can introduce to help the financial decision makers adapt to changes in the workforce and capitalize on the future opportunities that they may have. What I really love is that this online survey had a pre-screen to ensure that the participants had a touch into the day-to-day operations of AP. And that way we can get you the real live data coming straight from those financial leaders. In a total complete scenario, we actually had 1,200 interviews completed across 8 countries, and just over 400 of them were actually from the US, and those are the results that we're going to be focusing on today. And what we've noticed in these key findings is that they speak for themselves. They show how those financial leaders are not only focusing on the cash flow, budgeting, and cost management of business, but also employing the right individuals for this hybrid role that's created in this post-pandemic world, along with those fraud and cybersecurity becoming more and more of a focus as they continue to go virtual. And part 2, we're going to see that only 10% of organizations have really fully gotten rid of those manual processes. And that leaves 90% of companies out there that are still actually held to those particular processes that are holding them back to becoming who they truly can be in the financial space. Of course, in that part 3, new skill requirements are now required to address challenging the coordinating remote workers, maintaining high efficiency in the AP process, and they're really asking themselves, how can we improve this current situation with technology? And that's what we're going to be finding out today. So Neil, in part 1, with those post-pandemic objectives, we're going to be looking at the talent, operation excellence, ESG, and growth. And as we get into that, we'll see the trends have been changing. So as companies begin to emerge into this new post-pandemic, we'll see how their focus has began to change. As you can see from the day-to-day financial operations and kind of that bullet 4, it really is slid down as a priority as we moved into 2022. This is a big hurdle that needs to be overcome by the uptick in attracting and retaining the right talent. Because in my humble opinion, and what is shown in the data itself, is that if you start attaining and attracting the right talent, then we're going to gain better control of this day-to-day financial processes, basically as a secondary effect of that. So it's really great how retaining that talent is becoming a large priority. Of course, along with that, we have a lot more work from home practices, which of course has an increase in the cybersecurity practices as well. As people start becoming remote and digital ages are starting to communicate back and forth in technologies, you're going to have that heightened security risk. That could be fraud prevention, or it could be malware attacks. Of course, with that brand new remote home working practice, we have a brand new segment that's actually becoming a focus of those companies. How can we create these work from home with the flexibility around working from home, but as well as being efficient from home? And of course, given the additional pressures that come with just the governance and the ESG plans, which is environmental, social, and governance plans, a lot of financial institutes and financial leaders are actually starting to take the forefront on those particular plans because their office has been the most impacted. And as they continue to go through with those efforts, it's going to be really great to see how this becomes more and more of a priority as we continue on. Now, Neil, I must ask you, in your opinion, with these business changes that are taking place, what is your opinion about the priorities and the changes that are taking?
Yeah, well, we're seeing it over and over again that there's just a huge migration to finance back office technology to help manage this. And we all know that remote and home is here to stay at some level. So, so that has to continue to be managed.
Absolutely. I don't know about yourself, but as you can see in my background, I'm actually working from home. And there's 3 kids that were mentioning about me. I think I have 2 of them sleeping about 20 feet away from me as of right now through walls. So hopefully they stay asleep and don't start screaming. But just the adapting, that's this huge part of as company culture. I think companies may have had a inkling that after pandemic it would get back to normal, but as we can see in trends, it's not. Now this new age of the workforce has really taken over and came true. So with this